Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becky Sechere. I hope you're doing well. So in today's video we're going to be talking about, it's one of my educational videos, and it is going to be about a UK registered nurse who lost her registration, and also she was sentenced to 9 months imprisonment. And if you'd like to know more about this case, why not watch the video to the end? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becky Sechere and I'm a registered nurse in the UK, originally from Ghana, and I usually give tips and advice to overseas nurses who are working in the UK and those who are planning to relocate to come and work in the UK. So if this is the first time you have come across my channel, please remember to like, subscribe and share. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing one of my educational videos. This is purposely for learning for all of us. It's about a nurse who was sentenced to 9 months imprisonment, and she also lost her NMC registration as a result of a criminal conviction. So why would a nurse lose their NMC registration, or why would a nurse get struck off the NMC register? So the reasons why someone can lose their PIN or registration the reasons are, one of them is misconduct. So misconduct covers several things: criminal conviction, lack of competence, health reasons, not having the necessary knowledge of English language, which is a requirement before you come and work in the UK, either a determination or determinations by other health or social care organizations, or as a result of fraudulent or incorrect entry onto the NMC register. So those are the reasons why a nurse can lose his or her nursing registration in the UK. So this case is about a foreign nurse who was convicted by a court in the UK. I'm not going to go into all the details, but in short, this person got a false birth certificate in order to obtain a British passport. Basically, the person got registered on the NMC register or qualified as a nurse in 2009, and in 2018, so that is another 9 years later, the NMC received a referral from the hospital trust that this nurse works. So this person originally held a foreign passport, and the date of birth on that passport, let's say 20th August 1979. The same date of birth was used when the nurse applied to study as a nurse in the university in the UK. Subsequently, the nurse applied for a British passport, and the date of birth that went into the British passport, let's say, is 20th August 1983. So the original passport that the person traveled to UK with from their home country was, let's say the year was 1979, but they did a birth certificate whilst they were here fraudulently and got a date of birth of 1983. Now, the case goes on. So when the nurse applied for her job, she actually provided information like passport, driving license, and all those things for her DBS. So both these documents that she provided for her DBS both had the date of birth of 30th August, or let's say 20th August 1983. Whereas the one that she came from her country with had 1979. And when she went to university over here as well, it still had 1979. So she applied for a reference from the university, and the date of birth from the university was 79. Let's say the year was 1979. So this nurse started employment in 2010. So she completed uni 2009 and started work in 2010. NMC received a referral in 2018, I believe. So what happened was that in 2018, the hospital trust that this person works at, so she was working with them for another 8 years, but the trust actually got a letter that the registered nurse's DBS was no longer valid from the police, as her passport cannot be verified. So anyway, the RN was subsequently suspended pending investigation by the police. So because she had 2 different dates of births, during the investigation, the RN actually advised that she paid about £2,000 for a false birth certificate in order to obtain a UK or British passport. So she was charged with 7 offenses by the police. She pleaded guilty for this, and she was sentenced to 9 months of imprisonment, suspended for 24 months, rehabilitation activity, and required 120 hours unpaid work concurrently for each of the 7 offenses that she was charged with. So based on these conviction, the NMC actually concluded that after all the investigations, they concluded that her behavior has actually brought the nursing profession into disrepute. And it actually calls into question her trustworthiness and then her professionalism. And she also used false passport to gain unemployment, because she used a British passport to gain unemployment, which was false passport. She was dishonest, and this means that the public confidence in the nursing profession and NMC would be undermined if this nurse continues to work as a registered nurse. Hence, she got struck off they felt that her fitness to practice was impaired. Interim suspension order for 18 months would cover the appeal period, and if no appeal is made, then the order will be replaced by striking off order 28 days after the RN is sent the decision of the hearing. It's an unfortunate case. In this country, one thing I would say is that honesty is very important. If you're not honest, or if you're dishonest, you will find yourself in a big trouble. So just make sure when you're submitting any record or document for your job to come here, make sure everything is exactly what it is. Do not change anything, because you will get caught or you get found out, and it would end up ruining your profession, your job, and you are here. And if in this situation, now that you're involved in fraudulent activity, you may end up getting deported. You have lost, after 3 years of training as a nurse, this person has lost their registration. They cannot work as a nurse anymore. And yes, you tell me there are other things you can do, but if your passport and all those things are now invalid, there is the likelihood you could be deported back home. So I think it's important for each of us, everyone, I would say, anything you do, make sure you're honest with it. And you can never change it. If it is A, it is A. If it is B, it is B. But if you're dishonest, if you're not careful, things will turn against you. So I hope you have learned something out of this. And I hope you enjoyed this video. As I said, this is meant for educational purposes. I wish that person well. Anyway, have a lovely evening or day wherever you are, and I hope to see you again later. Bye bye.